Welcome back, people. This is your boy Max Numbers, and we're coming at you today with a different kind of video. This one's going to be more of a discussion about which healer to use and why out of Lots, Achates, Angelica, and Destina. I consider those the big four healers for free-to-play players. So for the purpose of this comparison, we're gonna only consider cooldowns on max skill ups, not the heals themselves, because at max skill ups, aside from lots of skill 3, they all increase their heals by 30 to 40%. So there's really not much difference there. First off, we're gonna have Lots. Lots' claim to fame is his AoE, heals over time, and his turn bar manipulation. Of any healer in the game, Lots by far has the largest amount of turn bar manipulation, or combat readiness for those of you who aren't familiar with the term. For his skill 3, he increases his entire team's combat readiness by 10% up to 20%, and he grants heals over time for 3 turns with what turns into a 3-turn cooldown. Really strong, especially when you burn it, because when you burn it, heals over time do stack. And then his skill 2, when max skilled up, gives one ally a full turn, like just gives them a turn. Doesn't matter whether they just went, doesn't matter, they just get a turn. Lots is not the best healer with squishies, but he excels at healing tanks, because for any other healer, they're going to be healing based on their own HP. For those of you who don't know, all heals over time are 15% max HP. So for his weaknesses, he has no cleanse, so Wondrous Potion Vial is a really good item on him. All his heals are based on ally max HP, so if he doesn't have tanky allies with him, he's not going to be as effective. Next up, we have Achates. Achates' claim to fame is actually her skill 2. So her skill 2 is a single target invincibility buff for 1 turn, and that makes it so that unless they are stripped, they cannot die until they take a turn. Really amazing ability there. As far as I know, she's the only character that grants that to an ally. So her skill 3 dispels all debuffs from all allies and then heals. So if you're going against buff block, she is amazing. Also, she has the shortest cooldown for a high percent HP AoE heal. I believe that Achates is especially good at arena offense, especially if you have a Ludwig and you compare her with a Ludwig. That's because Ludwig's skill 3, if he has invincibility buff, he gets to ignore defense. That's not to say that she's not good in other places in the game. Like I said, she has the shortest AoE big heal plus a cleanse. So she's really good, just excels particularly well in PvP. Next up, we have Destina. So I've heard a lot of people argue that Angelica is better than Destina, and I kind of have to disagree because they have 2 different purposes. So if you're the most OP player of all time, you have all the speed, sure, Angelica is better because never getting debuffed in the first place is always better than getting debuffed and having the cleanse. What Destina offers is the highest amount of healing in the game, period, over all of the other healers. She just heals and combat readiness and cleanses. She just does everything. Everything that you want your healer to do, your Destina will do for you. She has combat readiness on her skill 3. If they're debuffed and she cleanses debuffs, she turn bar boosts them. On her skill 2, she heals. She also combat readiness increases. Also, all of her healing, aside from her passive healing on her skill 1, is based off of her HP, which is what you really want from a healer that you're expecting to heal squishy characters. If you were pairing her with tanks, then you'd probably want her to skill 1 more often, or even put a Celestine on her so that she'll heal more often based on the ally HP. But I believe that Destina just shines really well in raid and PvP defenses. The reason she shines in raid is because there are certain raid bosses where buffing is just not, you can't. The boss buff blocks you the entire time, or the window of opportunity for you to put up buffs is so small that more often than not, your Angelica will not get a turn. So I think, like, as far as late game rating, she is gonna be your best bet. I will agree that she is definitely outclassed by Angelica in the Abyss or other things earlier in the game, where you do have the opportunity to go first and the boss does not buff block you. The only time that I'll say she's better than Angelica is when you need consistent heals and when you need to be able to cleanse debuffs because you know you're going to get debuffed no matter what. Her weakness is that she requires her allies to be debuffed for her to have the maximum effectiveness. Because her skill 3, if allies aren't debuffed, is a heal. That's it. Which is nice, but it's no different from an Achates. But it has 5-turn cooldown versus Achates' 3-turn cooldown. Last but not least is your girl, your favorite, Angelica. Angelica does a lot. So her skill 3 gives her allies a shield, gives them immunity, and heals them. So her strength as well as her weakness is the fact that her skill 3 does all these things. Every other cleanser and healer in the game is a smart healer. Well, except for Dingo. Dingo's dumb. Makes me sad. They will cleanse or heal when healing and cleansing is necessary. Angelica treats her skill 3 as a buff and will spam it off cooldown. So if you need to save it for something important, she says fuck you. What's really nice about her though is that her skill 2 does have really good burst heal. So she has the best single target burst heal of any healer because her skill 2 heals for 20% HP, and if that ally is low enough HP, it'll heal them twice for 20% of her HP, 40% HP. So really nice heals on a really short cooldown, it's 2-turn cooldown. TLDR of this video is that Achates is exceptional for arena offense, or if you need really big burst heals regularly, AoE burst heals, and if you want to cleanse regularly. Lots is good if you just want good sustain heals as well as extra turns. He's amazing for Abyss and amazing for arena, be it on defense or offense. Angelica is just pretty solid no matter where you put her. The only issue I have with using her in PvP is that if you don't go first, she just doesn't really do much for you. She gives you a shield. You don't get to get debuffed again, but once you get defense broken or stunned, it doesn't really matter on arena offense or defense. They're probably going to kill you. Destina is just a really solid healer. Most consistent heals based on her own HP. She also has some healing based on target HP for whoever's lowest. Really just anywhere you need a healer. Like, she's just a solid choice. She doesn't do anything amazingly. She just does everything. She turn bar boosts. She cleanses. She heals very well. She's just your catch-all. Wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't give you a chart with the numbers at the end of the video or somewhere in the video. So here you go. Here's a comparison of the average heals over time of each of the healers. So that's all for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how much you liked it. Let me know what you want to see in the future. We're going to be coming, the next video should be a character highlights video. Like I said, I've just been trying to do some more stuff, trying to see what you guys are super interested in. Hope you enjoyed it. Max out.